Welcome to the Lunar Module Academy. The Lunar Module is an advanced spacecraft, designed to only work in the vacuum of space. Before we start, it is assumed that you are already familiar with the Apollo command module, and know how the mechanics of Reentry, a space flight simulator, works. The Lunar Module is a spacecraft designed to land 2 astronauts on the lunar surface, and safely return them back to the command module. You are in Earth orbit, where we will perform the initial training on the Lunar Module. It is currently docked and sealed with the command module. You can use the external view on the VO selector to see the configuration. The Lunar Module is docked and secured on the front of the command module. A docking tunnel just below the main display consoles of the command module is used to enter the Lunar Module, once docked and secured. The first thing we need is to get some lights down into the tunnel, so we can see. You can use the tunnel light switch on the upper part of the MDC2 panel to do this.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to another Reentry, a spaceflight simulator video. Today we are finally learning about the Lunar Module, the LEM. And first up, we need to turn on the lights to the docking tunnel. So we'll go ahead and turn on the docking tunnel lights. There we are.
Good. The tunnel is now illuminated. If you move down to the entrance, you will see a hatch, as well as a panel, 12, just on the upper/left side of the tunnel wall.
Alright, so we're going to head down into here. So this is where, like, our optics are. Can you guys still... Okay, it's out of range. I'm actually going to go turn on thing. Now we are filming VR view so that you guys can see what I see, because the game doesn't want to record when I go out of the seat. But yeah, down here, this is where the optics are. If you guys remember, we had to like fine-tune the optics. Right through here is the docking tunnel, and right over here is a switch. What does this switch say? Pressure differential. So we flick it. We flick it, or we just look at it. I guess we just look at it. Yeah, I think this is one thing they changed. It's purple, because it just wants us to look at it. It just wants us to look at it. Okay, we found the switch. Roger.
The first thing we need to do is to pressurize the tunnel and the Lunar Module. This is normally done by opening event control on the hatch.
Okay. Would that be this? Yeah, Lunar Module pressurize. We probably want to do that. Or something else? Is there another switch nearby? No, I don't see anything. Okay, roger.
Right after successfully docking with the Lunar Module and the post-docking procedures, the LM is typically pressurized.
Okay, this first part of the lesson will cover the main procedure found in the CM-LM pressure EQ checklist. T&D, equalization. There we go, run this.
Let us first fill the O2 repress tank, set it to fill.
Okay, here we go, get out here, floating around, ooh, 30. Okay, so this valve here, you want to flip it that way, there we go. Okay, let us first fill the O2 repress tank, set it to fill. Okay, I think that's okay. So O2 repress tank, surge tank. Maybe I'll clear this. I don't think we want to use this yet. All right.
Then next to panel 600, locate the gauge that reads its pressure. When it is full, needle in green area, continue with the lesson.
All right, so next to panel 600. That is probably down here, if I were to guess. 226, 229, 27.
A few minutes later.
Oh, there we go. Found it. So this is panel 600? Yeah, in the back here. Okay, so this is a gauge that we have to look at. Look at the gauge. Okay, I think it's in the green area.
Close the repress valve.
All right.
Check the pressure in the surge tank. It should be 865 to 935 CA.
Okay. I'm checking that gauge. Okay, I think it's a gauge up here that I'm looking for. ECS radiator, primary, cryogenic tanks, propellant tank, fuel cell. Oh, pressure indicator, tank 1. Oh yeah, there we go. So yeah, that's surge tank. So that's 950 to 900. Okay, yeah, that's right around there. Okay, perfect.
Set the Emmer cabin repress to off to prevent triggering it, as the cabin pressure will reduce during pressurization.
Emergency cabin pressure.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Wait, I think that was down here. That was this little yep, that was this thing hidden down here. Right. There we go. That was that thing down there.
Then set the tunnel vent indicator to LM/CM delta P. It should read +4 SID, pegged.
Okay, so that... Okay, so yeah, that's the switch down over here we were looking at. So we want to set it to LMCP delta P. Right there. Okay.
Set the door hatch to the open position.
Here we go. Okay.
Quickly monitor the cabin pressure. It should be decreasing.
Oh yeah.
When the cabin pressure reads 4.5 SIA, close the hatch valve again.
Yep. There we go. Close that. So we gotta slowly let the pressure out. Yeah, because now it's going back up.
Then check the LM/CM delta P indicator. It might still show a pegged value, or slightly decreased.
Yeah, it's slightly below 4. Okay, yeah, I see that. So yeah, we're basically seeing slowly letting the pressure out. That's what we gotta do here.
Open the vent valve again, and monitor the cabin pressure.
Okay. Vent valve. Cabin pressure is going down. Going down, going down.
When the cabin pressure is 4.0 SIA, open the O2 repress valve to quickly fill up the cabin O2 again.
Oh, is that this down here? Oh, let's just close this. Close that. Okay, so let that build back up. Where's the O2 repressurize valve?
11 minutes later.
Oh, panel 600. We know where panel 600 is. It's back here. Repressurize O2 valve. There we go. Psh. There you go. Everything's full again, though. Emergency O2 valve. Is that not what I was supposed to? Oh, there it is.
When cabin pressure is 5.7, close the O2 repress valve again.
Okay. That took me way too long to find. Alright, so now we just keep opening the door, right?
Repeat opening the O2 repress valve based on need, depending on cabin pressure and if the LM/CM delta P indicator is full or not.
Alright, so we open the hatch. We let the pressure drain. It looks like it's getting close to being drained. We pop the repress valve. It goes back up. We close the repress valve. It goes down. It's a balancing act. Is it stable? Looks like we're stable. Looks like we've pressurized. Awesome. I guess we can see down here if we've pressurized based on like flow rate on that valve. Yep, it's down to 0, so we have pressurized.
When the LM/CM delta P indicator is 0.0, close the hatch vent valve. Ensure the O2 repress valve is closed and then refill the tank.
Okay, yeah, O2 repress closed, and then this is fill the tank. So that surge tank should have gone, oh yeah, look how low that surge tank went. Yeah, so the surge tank went all the way down there to repressurize the thing. Something I can actually understand for once. It seems like I'm not understanding how things are going, but this actually makes sense. I'm actually following along. Yeah, so we can close that now, yep. And we should be able to get into the lunar lander.
Then set the emergency cabin pressure selector to both.
Which is down here, I believe, yep. So now we get the warnings again if the cabin pressure gets low.
Okay, when the pressure is equalized, the hatch can be opened. To do this, press C to bring up the tools buttons and the C communications window. The open hatch function bubble appears.
Alright, here we go. Open. Oh, bang. Slams it into our face. Oh, where do we put that thing? So we took the hatch out. What did we do with it? I think we'll need that later, guys. Oh, there's the lunar module. That's funny. It's just a PNG. Ooh, lunar module. Ooh, lunar module. Yeah, guys, where do we put the hatch? I guess we store it down here somewhere. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, that's where we store it. Okay, cool. We store it under the seats. Guys, does anybody know where we left the hatch? I thought you had it.
Press the open hatch button to open the hatch, and you will be able to see some of the lunar module interior.
Yeah.
When the hatch is open, you can use F4 or the VO selector to switch the active spacecraft. Do this now to enter the lunar module. You can also use the flashlight here.
So yeah, if we just fly into this, yeah, nothing happens. But if we go here, and then we go VR, and then we go switch to lunar module, we can then go inside the lunar module. Oh wow, look at that. See, there's the hatch. See, it would come down from here. There's the lunar module. Come down, boom, and we're in here. We're in. Wow, this area. This is really big. This is really spacious. Actually, I always thought the lunar module was cramped, but this thing is spacious. Definitely would have been nice on the whole trip to the moon to have this whole area kind of opened up.
Now, using the lunar module VO selector, or the function keys to move the camera, you can change the camera view. Use the arrow keys to freely move the camera around as you are used to.
So many more switches to learn, guys. And look at that view. That is a stellar view. Hello there, sir. Oh, no, goodbye, sir. Yeah, I'm just checking out your side. We got, is this abort? Abort mode. Yep. Stop, start. Not looking forward to having to pilot this thing in VR. Let go of it! Oh gosh, we can't land on the moon! We're gonna end up landing sideways. Oh dear.
As you can see, everything is dark, except for the floodlights and some panel indicators. When the hatch is open, a switch is set, illuminating all the floodlights at max intensity inside the cabin. Use the VO selector to move the camera to the pilot's station, and look right. You will see some side panels, and the fuses. What we are looking for is panel 14, the EPS panel.
16, 12, 14, electrical power.
Panel 14 is located below the fuses on panel 16, and is the panel used to control most of the electrical power subsystem, EPS. On panel 14, in the descent section, you can see what batteries that are currently powering the spacecraft. Verify that the LMP BAT1 and CDR BAT4 talkback indicators indicate low.
DC bus fault, okay. Talkback indicators, oh yeah. LMP BAT1 and CDR BAT4, low.
During launch, the LMP BAT1 and CDR BAT4 is automatically set to low, meaning their low voltage taps are powering the spacecraft. Before powering up the LM, most systems are offline, and to preserve batteries, 2 of the batteries have a low power tap allowing them to power the spacecraft. Open the checklist menu and notice the Lunar Module folder tab. Click this to change the checklist pad to the Lunar Module.
Okay, we got command module checklist here, and then lunar module checklist here.
I strongly recommend you to manually walk through the pre-launch closeout checklist, just to get familiar with the panels. It will walk you through every switch, panel by panel.
Okay, so we got panel 11, panel 8.
As a test, just for this Academy lesson, let's turn off the 2 batteries, extinguishing the floodlights that illuminate the cabin. Set the descent battery 1 switch from low to off.
Okay, off you.
Notice the talkback indicator changed to barber pole, meaning the battery is offline. Set the descent battery 4 switch from low to off, and everything will go dark.
Okay, it is dark. And I don't know how we turn on the flashlight in VR. Let me see if I can press the button on my keyboard. No, I don't think that worked. I pressed F for flashlight, and I don't think that did a thing.
In the next lesson, we will learn how to power up the lunar module from its cold and dark state to a fully active state.
Alright, we learned how to get into the lunar module. Next, we will learn how to power it up. Oh, we're back in the CSM. Alright, do we just go VR? Yeah, okay. Cool. Roger.
This lesson will take you through the activations procedure with the goal of teaching you the sequence of the activation checklists and procedures, so don't worry if you don't understand all of them. The next lessons will walk you through the systems at a deeper level. Since the lunar module needs to be in an inactive state during the initial part of the mission, all of the major systems needs to be powered up before the LM is ready for flight. We will be using the checklist menu of the mission pad as a reference, and use the guidance logic to step through the major parts. First of all, we are still in orbit around Earth. Check if the tunnel between the LM and the CM is open. If not, open it, and enter the lunar module by using the view selector menu.
Already done.
If you take a glance at the panels, you can see that we have some power. Lights are illuminated and some caution and instrument lights are on. This is because the lunar module batteries number 1 and 4 are connected to the DC buses by using their low voltage taps. A lot of the instruments on panel 1 and 2 have a light illuminated above them, indicating that they are not yet set up correctly. As we walk through the steps in the checklist, we will see that the lights will extinguish. To get started, open the mission pad and click on the checklists tab. Switch the checklists from command module to lunar module. All the subsystem activation checklists can be found under the activation section. The goal is to walk through all of these, one by one, in the order from top to bottom. Do not press anything yet, but skim through all of the checklists to get familiar with the major parts, and move on with the lesson when you are ready.
We don't need to skim nothing.
First, we need to verify the circuit breakers. They are used to close the electrical circuits for all the systems inside the lunar module.
Right, yeah, I see they're all open.
We have 2 panels with all available circuit breakers, namely panels 11 and 16.
I guess 11's over there.
Panel 11 belongs to the commander, and panel 16 belongs to the lunar module pilot. The initial setup is the first checklist, and begins with checking the circuit breakers on panel 11. Some of these checklists have a run feature, which guides you step by step through each section. In this lesson you can either choose to use the run feature, or perform the checklists manually. The initial setup checklist has 3 main parts, one for panel 11, one for panel 16, and a final set of checks. Complete the panel 11 part of the initial setup checklist now and press Roger when done.
Alrighty, so initial setup, we'll go ahead and run this. So basically, I think we're just initial setup, verify panel 11. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Okay, so I think that was it. All these are open, I think, and that's what's important. Except for those can be closed. But it seems like everything, yeah, they want everything open.
Panel 11 should now be set up and prepared for the rest of the activation checklists. Continue the checklist and complete the setup of panel 16 as well. When panel 16 is complete, press Roger.
Oh, what are you doing pushed in? You need to be out? Alright, there we go.
Now that the circuit breakers are in their correct position, we can move on to the next part. Step 3 asks you to power the LM from the CM umbilical.
Roger.
This is something that needs to be done from the command module. Enter the command module, and set the LM power switch to the up position.
Okay. Switch to CM. Yeah. Power transfer.
The last thing we need to do in this section is opening the descent H2O valve. The ECS panel is behind the LMP station, so turn 180 degrees and look down to find it.
Okay. Oh yeah, there it is. Descent H2O. Open.
The next part is the EPS activation, and we'll set up the electrical system. We will go through the details of the EPS in the EPS lesson. You can do this manually, but if this is the first time, I recommend using the run feature. I will explain some of the systems as you progress, so pay attention to these messages. Start going through the EPS activation and checkout now, while referencing the checklist. First of all, some of the circuit breakers are closed to power some instrumentation used to monitor the EPS. The EPS activation and checkout checklist will set up the initial electrical system and test that its major functions works, and finally setting up the AC power system.
Okie doke. Okay, so LTG, Anon Num Continute Adjust. Alright, there's 2 people in here now. Everybody's in here. That's a whole party. Oh, that's the EVA hatch. Okay, yeah, we don't want to open that. Yeah, I love how many windows there are on this thing. Very many windows. Much to look at. Back here, don't got much. Oh, these are the CO2 canisters. Circles. They're circles. Unlike the square ones in the CSM. Sure, nothing will go wrong from having two different shapes. P5. Where's panel 5? 3... 6. So is 5 this one? Yep. Panel 5. Lighting. Uh-huh. Anon. On. Number. On. There we go. So we turned on those lights. And now we begin closing circuit breakers. Display. X lunar bus tie. Okay. Descent ECA continued. What's that one? The SIG sensor. The PCM tie. The SIG Concur 2. EPS X lunar bus tie. Is that on your panel? Yep, okay. EPS descent ECA. INST SIG Condor. Okay. EPS power bus. Okay, we're checking volts now. Volts. Battery fault. Uh-oh. Volts. Volts. Battery fault. Yeah, those are in the red. Okay. 25. Okay, I guess that battery is fine. What's that? That's the CDR battery? Oh yeah, CDR bat 4. I guess we just want to check these before we turn them on fully. And then check our LMP bus. That is fine as well. Okay, so those two batteries are good. We can continue plugging things in. Turn on the heaters for the RCS. Start warming up those RCS. Heater for the display. Temperature monitor. Select RCS quad 1. Okay. Should be warming up. Yeah, those are all still warming up, I think. We literally just turned them on. Yeah, I can set them to manual, and they'll manually heat up. Manually heat those RCS. I guess we'll check back on them. Exterior lighting. Off. EPS X-tie. EPS X-tie bus closed. Oh yeah, on both sides. I guess both circuit breakers on both sides. Okay. Interesting. And then we can turn on the high voltage of battery 1. Huh? Oh, we need to go off, reset, and then turn it high voltage. Okay. And now we pop these open again. Okay, now we check battery 1. It's doing okay. We're going to turn it off, reset it, and turn it on, and switch this to 2. No, to 4. Then turn this battery on. I guess we always reset it before turning it on, just to make sure nothing bad happens. How's our RCS heat? I still haven't gotten that much warmer. We'll keep an eye on them, though. Ooh, not that one. EPS inverter. Yeah, very exact sequence we gotta do everything, all this stuff in. Now we're checking inverter 1. Right now. We're setting this to the AC bus. AC bus. And then we're turning on inverter 1. We get volts. And then do we get volts with inverter 2? We do. EPS power / temp. LMP bus. Verify the DC volts. It looks good. CDR bus. Still have volts. Battery 4. Battery 3. Battery 2. And battery 1. Okay, so I guess all the dangers went away. Oh, ED volts bat A. What did I accidentally click through? Prevents unnecessary power consumption. Oh yeah, so it does read through what some of the stuff does in here. Verify. Okay, so we were doing the same. Power temp monitor off/ED. Oh, I just wanted us to set this to off. That was the step we missed. Verify ED battery A volts. Yeah, so we set this to ED. So now we're looking at battery A, and the volts look right about near the red. But I guess no warning light, so it's fine. Yeah, it goes off, and that goes back on. Right in the red. I guess it's fine for those batteries. EPS inverter 1. Pop that open. Bang. And then what are we doing to you? Monitoring the AC bus. Because what else would we be doing? Okay.
When the electrical power system, EPS, is configured, the 4 descent stage batteries come online, and AC power is supplied through inverter 2.
Alright, so we have power plugged in everywhere. We just now gotta, I guess, turn things on.
Next, set up the primary glycol loop by following the primary glycol loop activation checklist. Start doing this now and press Roger when you're done.
Primary glycol loop. Running. ECS disp. Close. Glycol selector pump. We want to select pump 1. Record ECS glycol pressure. Alright, there we go. Is that like 10? Glycol selector instantaneous. Instant second. Okay. And it's at, well, it jumped to like 40 and now it's going down. It's going down again. It's still going down. It's still going down. It's still going down. Okay, it stopped at 10. Bump. But 2. Okay, so it jumps and then it goes down. Alright. Closed. Pump 1. Oh, and now it's going back up. We turned on the pump and now it's going back up. Look at that. 21 to 27. Yeah, just within that green area. It's going really high. Okay, I'm sure it's fine right about there. It went to like 30. It's like in the high 30s. But, you know, it's fine. And a light should have gone off. Somewhere. Neat. Maybe there's a light above that thing.
The glycol is used to cool the equipment and systems in the lunar module, and will regulate their temperature.
Okay.
Next is the circuit breaker checklist. In this checklist we'll connect all the major systems to the EPS.
Circuit breakers. Alright, a lot of stuff is already closed, but we can continue closing things. I like closing things. Boop. What was that? That was something. The ATCA. Good morning. Whatever you are, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Oh, the ordeal. Hello. Good morning, good morning. Good morning. Wakey, wakey. Wakey, wakey. Wakey, wakey. Oh, that was a big wakey, wakey. What was your name? Something Deca Gimbal. Integral lighting. Oh. You're the sci-fi button, aren't you? Not sci-fi. Very much sci-fi. That's cool. Do we have that on the CSM? Does CSM do that? I'm not sure if it does. It probably does. I just didn't notice it. More things. Alright, more things. Yo. Are more things turning on? I guess they are. Prop. Rendezvous radar. Abort stage. ATCA. Yeah. Attitude controller. Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, the computer turned on. One of the buttons was the computer. And some more red lights have gone off, I think. But one of them was the computer. Computer's on. Computer's doing computer things. Yeah. Don't turn those on. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that one goes out, actually. And then that one goes in, and then that one goes in, and then that one goes in. And then you, and then you, and then you. Like, I could name what all these systems do, but, I feel like we'd be here for a while. Just everybody go wakey wakey. Check master alarm checks. Oh, we got a few of them. ECS, glycol, descent regulator, says RTS. I forgot to check the RCS temperature. Has they warmed up yet? Yes, they have. The RCS has well warmed up now. Alright, cool. I'm just gonna click that. Okay, I think we're done here.
Next, set up the primary subliminator to get the glycol flowing through the systems. Do this now, and press Roger when done.
Primary subliminator. Primary subliminator. Oh, this thing. Open. We want to open the valves, close the circuit breakers, and do all the other fun stuff. ECS glycol temp indication monitor. Oh yeah, glycol temp. That's gone up. Oh yeah, and the glycol light has gone off. So that's good. I guess now the glycol temp is up. Still got to worry about RCS. And whatever descent regulator and CES AC/DC. So some power is still at fault. You got a DC bus fault. I'm sure we will figure that out soon-ish. Probably. Yeah, and the glycol caution light has gone off. Amazing.
The next section is to set up the lighting. The Lunar Module has floodlights that provide general lighting to the cabin, as well as integral lights for the panels.
Yep, lighting.
Please note that the floodlights are at maximum intensity while the hatch is open. Feel free to close the hatch while performing this task, using the C/Tools menu, and press the button next to the hatch, from the LM side.
Okay. Hatch close. Good-dunk. So that just turned off our lights, and now we got the cool sci-fi lighting. Lighting side panels. On. Lighting flood. Overhead. All. There we go. So that basically just got us back to where we were. And then we can go bright. We can crank it all the way up. Or we can crank it all the way down low. Hey. It's fine. Exterior lighting track. So what does that do? Oh, track. I guess we could see that from the... Right, if we go to CM to get a good look at that, we look out the window, and we can see, yeah, see it's blinking and stuff? So that's probably, so you see how it's blinky, blinky, blink, blink, blink? That's probably how we rendezvous with it on the moon. Being able to see a massive blinky thing approaching over the horizon, you know, it makes things easy, as we saw with Agena. But we will go back to the Lunar Module, and we will switch this to, if we switch this to dock, and then go back to the CM. Yep, it's just the docking indicator. And then if we switch this to off, we will see, oh, there's still the docking indicator. But other than that, there's no lights. So there you go. I don't really know what the difference between the two things is. Man, my goodness, is this thing so far away? Why are my hands so far away from me? That's really weird. So yeah, I don't really know what the difference between... I guess dock probably lights up the docking port or something, which we can't really see because we are docked. That's probably what it is. So we don't really need docking lights on. I mean, we could turn on tracking lights if we want to have a party in here, but professional. Floodlight. Okay, we can control floodlights from here as well, it looks like. Or a different subset of them. Yes, this is like the left-hand floodlights. So yeah, we can crank these floodlights up, and then these floodlights. Flood. Yeah. Yes, these are like the main floodlights. We can crank all the way up. These are simply the floodlight over here. Which I don't even see where the light bulb is, but it's a light. Yeah, this is like the left side. So it's like left side and right side. Yeah. Okay. Well, I will set it to off, but then we'll turn it back on to bright because I want to be able to see things. The number lights. Okay. Annunciator lights. Is that what that is supposed to be? Maybe I should dim these lights down. Just to kind of see what these are changing. Okay, so it's changing those. So annunciator lights, turn those off. Annunciator lights, turn those on. On. And then we can crank those all the way up. I mean, they're already pretty bright. Yeah, they're already pretty bright. Even on the dimmest setting. So even cranking them all the way up doesn't really do a whole lot. I guess maybe if we crank them down when the yeah. I don't really see the brightness doing anything. We also have the number lights. You can turn those on and off and on and off. Well, they actually go brighter when they're turned off. Interesting. On. Oh wait, is that because we have it set to bright? Oh, lighting override. Okay, so if we set these to off, now we can control how bright they are. Yeah, see, there we go. Now they can go real dim. Yeah, there we go. Because these are overrides. Override. See, this is override. I'm smart. And then the integral lights, right. We have an integral override, so we can crank those up to fully bright. Or, you know, we can tune them how we like it. That's pretty good. I guess being able to fine-tune the lighting is good for, like, probably good for lunar landing, because you want to not make sure the lights are blinding you in the face. Very cool. And then the lighting for the side panels. Let's turn that all the way on. Oh, there we go. Yeah. That's just the same as, like, the integral lighting, but, like, for the side panels. Neat. And then we can obviously override it and crank that to bright. Make this look really sci-fi in here. I like it. I like it. I really like it. Okay. Configure as desired. Ooh. Okay, let's do that. Let's crank that up a little bit. Let's crank that down a little bit. Let's set those to, like, the middle of the road. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Then there is the caution and warning array checkout. This tests the caution and warning system, master alarm, and the warning lights.
Okay, warning lights. Plug in some things. Oh, we're going to pull that out. Okay. Verify the power. Yep, power light is gone. Lamp tone test selector. That's on panel 3. Okay. Alarm tone. Set it to caution warning 1. Verify P1 left bank warning lights on. Okay, yep. Then we set it to warning 2. We get the master alarms. Then we set it to... Oh, wait. Oh, no, I set it to... Alarm tone? 1? Oh, yeah, okay. So I set it to alarm tone. That's that. So, yeah, that's 1. Then 2 is that one. Then 3 is that one. And 4 is that one. Okay. Then we want to set it to component. So now we get the glycol light, the suit fan light. Some of these other ones are on by default. That red light there. Yeah, to see that like glycol light come on. All these other lights are on already because something has gone wrong. But yeah, there we go. Component light. Cool. Yeah, there are actually less panels and stuff compared to Apollo. I mean, there's like 600 in that thing. Actually, I don't think there's exactly 600. I think there's quite a few. But yeah, the numbers are a bit confusing. Comp caution lights. So on panel 8 here, we should have a caution light. Explosive devices. Oh, yeah, there we go. We got 2 caution lights on here. System A and System B. Yeah, I think that's because we set it to component. Yeah, so those turn on. On P14, we should have 2 more lights like that. P14 is over here. Yeah, the battery lights have turned on again. That's because we told them to, or at least that one did. That one's still on. We have something wrong with that battery. And then on panel 2, yeah, we already saw the one on panel 2. And then panel 3. Yeah, I don't see a light. No light on panel 3. No track component caution light on. I don't even see where that light's supposed to be. Yep, no idea. I guess, oh, no track. That's not even on. No track light is burned out. We got a problem. The no track light is burned out. Okay, now we know the no track light's burned out. Do we have an in-op sticker we can put on that? Or something? Because we kind of need that. Okay, instance closed. Oh yeah, okay, yep. Bring the power back. There we go. Alright, so now we got those warnings. I guess we just pulled that because we know that these warnings are gonna kind of stay there. No, even still that light's not going. Okay, weird. Master alarm. Yep, master alarm sound. Yep, cool.
Next we have the ECS activation and checkout checklist. Go ahead and use the run feature to complete this checklist.
Set this to O2 H2O. Quantity selector ACS2. Okay. So check O2 and H2O. Okay. O2 and H2O quantity. Where would that be? Oh yeah, H2O is at 100. Okay, I see that now. Descent 2. Good. Descent 1. Also good. Glycol pump 1. Open. Master warning. Yep, so that's warning us if we do that. That's good. 21 to 37 psi. Yeah, I think it was pressurizing to that. Yeah. All the way up to 37 psi. Okay, set this to instantaneous. Monitor glycol pressure temp indicator. It is going down. Close this pump. It's not telling me to turn off the master warning, but should I? It's very loud. I'm just gonna click you. Okay, pressure in pump 2 is good. Pump auto transfer open. Okay, then back to pump 1. 21 to 37. Yeah, okay. Turn on suit flow. O2 supply. Oh, there it is. And then cabin fan. There we open that. Suit pressure indicated 3.5 to 5 psi. Yeah, that's 3.5. Suit fan selector 2. That raised the pressure a little bit. No, wait, that's not what we're looking at. No, it's fine. It changed the glycol temperature a little bit. Suit warning light on and off. Now it's saying it's master alarm. Oh yeah, these lights are slowly going out, I think. ECS part pressure CO2 indicator. So CO2 should be decreasing. Yeah, partial pressure of CO2. Yeah, that is going down. Alright, cool. Open that, and that turns off the fan. Water separator selector sep 1. Oh, it's gonna be on here, probably. Oh, back here. There we go. Okay, now we're gonna close the suit fan again. Because now we got water. And that the partial pressure is still dropping. Okay, and then we're gonna re-pressurize. Auto. Auto. Suit gas diverter to the cabin. Okay. Close overhead hatch. Already did that. Cabin relief vent. Forward hatch. Oh, that hatch. There's space out there. So keep vent valve open until cabin PSI is 4. Then we close it again. Okay, where is cabin pressure? Just so I know what I'm looking at. I guess right there. Yeah, I see it. Okay. Open. It's open. Is it open? Oh, no, that's not open. Okay. It's open. We're venting to space. Oh my gosh. Why do we do that? I guess let's make sure it works. So I guess, yeah, I want to pull that all the way out. So that's like venting basically out into the CSM. So we're sharing air with the CSM, but then when we go to dock, we would take this and kind of cram that all the way up. All right. That's kind of neat. Also terrifying. Just venting our air into space. What do you want? Oh, close? No? You? Something to do with you? Okay, something to do with that. Okay, pressure is rising again. I guess we want to leave these in the middle. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, not all the way out or all the way in, just leave them in the middle. Okay. Yeah, so that drops that. And if I do that, the pressure is going right back up. I guess it's fine. I don't think it's overpressurized or anything. Okay, I'm going to do another vent. Yep. We're just testing all the pressure things, aren't we? So apparently the suit, I guess, is going to reach this pressure pretty soon. Because we opened this suit circuit relief. And then once our suits go down to 3.5, they want us to close it again. Interesting, interesting. I guess we could do more venting. It's fun, isn't it? There we go. It's down to 2.5. Almost a vacuum. Isn't it fun being at such low pressure? I'm having so much fun, guys. There might be hypoxia setting in. Alright. Yeah, I don't see the suit going down. It's kind of staying there. Maybe I can time warp a little bit. Yeah, let's do a bit of 10x warp. See what happens. Yeah, the suit's just holding steady. I guess it's supposed to drop, but I don't want to stay and spend all day here. Yeah, so let's just set this to like auto back to where it was, and then open. I don't know what we're trying to do here. Nothing's really changing. Back to auto, and then pressure regulator egress. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. We need to be able to control the pressure in here because we do need to depressurize this part of the spacecraft in order to EVA. So that's why it's important that we can depressurize this part of the spacecraft. Yeah, we did get a master light. Cabin repress auto, there we go. So turn that back on. And now the pressure should be going back up. Not yet. Probably because we need to set whatever this is. Still not going? Oh, and we also opened the circuit breaker. There we go. So now the cabin pressure is going back up. Looks like the suit actually did drop a little bit. Yeah, now the suit's dropping. A little bit. Interestingly. Interesting. And then what's this? Cabin gas return. Auto. Okay. We're back up to pressure. All is well. Suit isolation. There we go. Oh, maybe that's what it was. Maybe that was the problem. I didn't have that on. The suit isolation. Maybe that's what it was. I didn't have the suit was isolated. That's probably what it was. Because I remember I clicked this and then clicked it again. Which didn't really make too much sense. Yeah, it was set to suit disconnect. That's why. That's why the suit pressure wasn't changing. Okay, at least we figured that out. I'm not going to go through all that again. But at least we know why it wasn't doing what it was supposed to.
Next we will set up the mission timer, Complete the timers checklist, and when instructed, use the bubble function sync met timers to automatically synchronize the mission timer with ground.
Okay, timers. I'm gonna send timer, panel 5. Okay, that's you're over here. So, timer. Reset. Reset. Start. So the timer has started. There we go. Timer has started. Request. Sync mission elapsed timers. There we go.
Mission timers has been synced with ground mission time. The next checklist is the communication systems. The communication systems are not yet developed, so you can skip this checklists. I still recommend you to skim through these two parts before moving on.
Okay, we'll skim. But yeah, audio must be close to transmit on VHF and or operate. CB must be opened. Circuit breaker must be opened when LMP connects or disconnects. Yeah. So basically we'd be turning on like voice, receivers, data, and then we would make sure that we can communicate between the CSM and the Lunar Module. Because the Lunar Module doesn't have a high gain, the CSM has the high gain, so we rely on them to bounce a signal back. But yeah, there we go.
The last few sections are used to test the ascent batteries, pressurize the RCS, and deploy the landing gear. You should skim through the checklists to get familiar with each of the sections to be completed. We have more batteries on board, the lunar battery and the ascent batteries. The lunar battery is used during the lunar stay, and as a backup. The ascent batteries are mandatory for a normal ascent from the lunar surface back to the CM, powering the LM during ascent. It is therefore important to check the batteries, and see if they are operational. Perform the ascent battery activation now, and press Roger when ready.
Ascent batteries. Lunar battery. Okay, lunar battery. Reset. On. There we go. And then, yep, it looks good, so then we can turn it off. And it has a fault, and it shows in the red. Okay, so this is because the battery's off. Battery 5. It's one of the ascent batteries, so turn it off. Reset it, turn it on. And it looks good. What battery 1? We want to turn on the low voltage tap? Or turn off the low voltage tap? I guess. And then the lunar battery CDR. Turn that off. And on. CDR, there we go. Lunar battery. Battery fault. Off reset. Battery 6. Okay, battery 6 is fine. Turn off the high voltage. Okay. Exactly know what we're trying to accomplish here. It probably says, check lunar battery and place both ascent batteries on line. Okay, that's what we're doing. To avoid transients, move the descent batteries one at a time from line at intervals of no less than 3 seconds. So we're just checking batteries. LMP bus. Okay, and we're turning the backups on. Checking the backups. Backups look good. Yep, checking the backups. Checking the CDR bus. Looks good. Checking the lamp bus. Looks good. Turning back on the high voltage on 4. Still looks good. Checking battery 1. Looks good. Battery 2 looks good. Battery 3, fault. Battery 3 has a fault. Battery 3, oh wait, no. Battery 3 no longer has a fault. Because I turned off battery 4. No, let's turn off battery 3, turn back on battery 3. Still has a fault. Battery 3 and 4 are faulting. Right. Okay, and now the battery fault went away. Okay, so battery 3 and 4 were faulting because the ascent lights were on. Is that normal? Maybe. Possibly. Might be.
The batteries are now in the normal operational configuration during the initial part of a LM mission, and during the descent stage. Next, go through the ascent and descent propulsion systems, APS and DPS pre-pressurization, checklist.
Pre-pressurization. Helium monitor. Ascent pressure 1. 28 to 3500.
20 minutes later.
Helium. 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 Helium pressure. Oh. It's not a gauge, it's a number. Never mind. I was looking for the complete wrong thing. Temp 1, 70. Temp 2, 70. Pressure 1, 2994. Pressure 2, 2994. Okay. Good. Oh yeah, we checked that. It was between 50 and 90, yeah. It was at like 70. Helium monitor selector. Descent amber pressure. Ambient pressure, probably. It's getting late, guys. 1592. 1150. Yeah, that's good. And then we switch to descent 2. 1592. Fuel temp indicator. Still 70. I guess fuel and oxidizer would be here. Yeah, okay, those are between 70 and 80. Okay, I don't think we're looking at that, actually. I want to set this to amber pressure. Look at that. Amber. Why do I keep saying amber pressure? It's ambient, obviously. Descent 1. Looks good. Nothing changed. It's all the same values. 95% or less? Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's 99. Guess you probably want more than 95%, not less. Monitor, monitor, monitor. Oh yeah, turn that off. We don't need to look at that anymore. Okay, so that turns those to 0 because we're not monitoring anymore, and yeah, that's done.
These are all about checking the pressure and temperature of the substances for the ascent and descent stages. We are now ready to pressurize the descent propulsion system. This is done using the explosives devices, ED, panel on panel 8.
We get to explode things?
The ED panel will trigger controlled explosions to perform irreversible steps needed to operate the LM. In this case we will use a small helium tank named the ambient helium tank to initially pressurize the system. You can verify this by checking that the AMBE has been reduced substantially after running the DPS pressurization checklist. Run the DPS pressurization checklist now, and press Roger when ready.
Master arm on. Master arm is on. Where do I turn master arm to on? Oh, right here. Master arm is on. Descent propellant isolation valve. Fire. Descent start. Fire. Master arm. So we should have seen helium selected DES super cut pressure. It went down to 1150. Oh wait, here we go. I think this is what's gonna bang it, right? Bang. Bang. Oh yeah, there goes the ambient. Look at the ambient going. Yeah, there goes the ambient pressure. Boom. Nice. That's pretty cool.
To summarize, the DPS system needs to be pressurized before being able to ignite the engine. To control the LM, the reaction control system, RCS, is used. To be able to use the RCS, you first need to pressurize it, just like with the DPS. The explosive devices system is once again used to do this. The ED has two redundant logical systems, as well as batteries, ED batteries. In this section, and in the landing gear section, both A and B will be tested individually. Perform the RCS pressurization checklist now, and press Roger when ready.
RCS pressurization. So yep, we have checked the temperature on all the RCS quads. They all seem to be well warmed up. So we'll set this to propellant. What are we looking at? Temp pressure monitor. Okay, so that's the propellant. The fuel in the manifold. Oh, there we go. Yeah, reaction control. There we go. So the temperature in the manifold is very low. The oxidizer manifold. Yeah, so the manifolds are low, but the propellant is nice and toasty. Pull out that circuit breaker. Turn on the master arm again. Yeah, so arm the explosive devices. RCS fire. Oh, and then RCS close, close. Okay, so now we should have RCS, right? I can't turn the master arm so we don't accidentally, you know, bump a switch. ED logic power B. I'm pretty sure it was this master arm switch that was broken. Or was it another one? Something to do with the ascent engine on Apollo 11. The switch was broken, and they had to use a pen to manually relight it. I don't know if it was that master arm switch or another one. But yeah, obviously if you can't get the master arm on, then nothing works. ED logic power B closed. Alright. RCS ascent fuel. Okay. There we go. Crossfeed open. Crossfeed close. And now we can check the fuel manifold is warm. Or that it has pressure. I mean, that's warm. And that's warm, and that's pressurized. So we might have RCS.
The RCS hot/cold firing checklist is all about testing parts of the RCS. This checklist is optional for this lesson, as it requires a deeper understanding of the LGC and RCS. You can either complete it or skip it. Press Roger to when ready to move on.
I want to fire the RCS. We'll see if we can figure this out. I didn't get all this way to not be able to fire the RCS. Or something. Temperature monitor. Yes, the RCS is very warm. It is very warm. It is very toasty. We have established this. Alright, so we can turn on panel 3. I don't know what I'm doing. We can turn on roll rates to pulse, to pulse, to pulse. We can turn this rate to attitude hold, attitude hold. Disable the ACA 4 jets. I guess those are the ones facing the command module. We don't really want to burn those. Alright, and then we're going to use the computer. So verb 76, enter. Verb 11, noun 10, enter. 5, enter. TTCA CDR deflect release. The CDR was something, we had like the CDR battery, but I don't know where this one thing is. On the TTCA panel, TTCA, or the TTCA panel. Is the TTCA panel back in the CSM? I don't think it would be. Yeah, maybe this is too complicated to do right now. Man, I really wanted to fire the RCS. Can I just, like, you know... Disable? TTCA translate? Disable? That is the one thing I do see that says TTCA. No, I'm just gonna skip this for now. I guess it should be giving me, like, things. But it's not. I think I want verb 15. Wow, it's got so many errors. Okay, reset. Key release. Verb 15. Noun 01. Enter. And then it wanted like 40 something. DAP configuration. Oh, maybe we need to... No, I think I just need to close these, whatever these valves are. I think I just need to close these circuit breakers and the RCS will work. Sure, there's like programming, I guess, to make sure the RCS works properly or something. But I just want the RCS to work. Shut up. Maybe I put that one back. Shut up. Okay, now we try. Yeah. Maybe I don't use that one. Maybe it's this. And no, it doesn't do anything. What about this thing? That's a throttle. That says throttle. Yeah, this is probably the RCS thing. And I don't hear anything going. Okay, maybe there's more steps. Panel 2, we gotta open some valves. Yes. Open, 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 open. Okay, now it should work. No. I don't care about your computer things. I just want RCS. It must just not work unless you do the computer things, which I think we'll eventually learn how to do. And this might not even be the right handle for the RCS either. Man. I just wanted to make some jets fire and go, you know, all cool like. Oh, why is RCS safe? Oh, helium pressurized, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I think everything's in. I just needed to do the computer setup, and yeah, obviously don't know how to do that properly. You go into direct mode. Oh. Oh, it is actually working in direct mode. Yay, we got the RCS to work. Yay! And then I guess the CSM is de-spinning it. Can I like go out here? Yeah, it's a little bit buggy. Oh my gosh, this is really buggy. I'm getting back inside. Okay, well that works. Neat. Very neat. Alright, well we figured out how to make the RCS fire. That makes me happy. Yeah, obviously I think this is like computer setup to do other things. And now we're spinning, so that's a fun little addition to the final part of this mission.
The final section is the deployment of the landing gear. The landing gear consists of 4 legs attached to the descent section. The legs are in a retracted position when in the SIVB and will need to be extended.
Alright, let's extend these legs. Let's stretch our legs.
He said it! He said it!
11. Okay, master arm on.
Once again, we will use the ED to do this.
Landing gear
Run the
deploy.
landing gear deploy checklist and press Roger when ready.
Okay, so that should have deployed. And we should have a landing gear flag. Panel 11. ED landing gear flag. So it left the landing gear out. That was it. It's done. Alright.
Excellent job. That sure was a lot of systems. We barely scratched the surface in this lesson, where we focused on learning how to use checklists, and the procedures needed to activate the LM. In the next lessons, we will dive deeper into these systems and learn how they are operated, and why you had to perform these steps. That's it for now. I would recommend you to study these checklists. Bye.
Bye. Alrighty. Well, anyways. Yeah, we're gonna spin now. You know, compared to Apollo, it is a lot easier to go through because there is a lot less switches. It's comparable to Gemini with how many switches, I would say. But yeah, that doesn't make it any less complex. It is still a very complex spacecraft, and we still have like the Apollo whole computer here. Same kind of deal there. So, again, very exciting. And yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Oh yeah, and probably because we didn't set up the computer properly. Look, it's not showing us our roll rates or anything. That's probably one thing that gets set up on the computer, is all these roll rates and stuff, and like aligning the IMU and having to do all that shebang. So obviously needed to land on the moon, but just to induce a little spin for fun. You know, we didn't really need to do too much. Actually, if we go to, I need to quit out of the game actually, so never mind. I was going to see if we could, like, stop the spin, but it's okay, because, yeah, the game put up the end screen. You guys can't see it, but it's there. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like. Subscribe for new videos. Have a great day, rest of your day. And I'll see you guys next time. When we, I guess, we'll probably end up doing the first academy, or the first campaign mission, because I bet that's just going to be like, what, like Apollo 9? Right? Apollo 9? Just testing the lunar module in orbit. And then we'll eventually get to, like, Apollo 11. Skipping Apollo 10, probably. Because who wants to do Apollo 10? Anyways. See you guys then. Goodbye for now. Let me pick up my hand. Goodbye for now. There we go. I'm going to put my hand down.